Conceptualizing and measuring young people's social and emotional development through music, scoping review protocol and scale development plan. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals highlight that inclusive societies are important for improving our world. Unfortunately, Europe is in the midst of an epidemic of loneliness, with young people being particularly vulnerable. Young people aged 10 to 24 are an important demographic group to target because they shape the future. Any means to promote social and emotional competency among young people will support the development of a more healthy and inclusive society. Music can help achieve these goals because listening, making, and performing music promote emotion regulation and a range of social benefits, including bonding. Therefore, musical engagement may be a resource that supports the development of young people's social and emotional competencies and subsequently their resilience and empowerment. The Music Connect project is an ERC Consolidator grant that was awarded to Professor Suvi Saracalio to support her research showing how music engagement acts as a ubiquitous daily resource to advance a critical capacity in the modern world, youth abilities to connect with themselves and others. My role in this project as a postdoctoral researcher is to develop a psychometric scale to measure how music supports youth connectedness and empowerment. Social and emotional competence is vital and likely underpins youth abilities to connect to themselves and others and feel empowered. Measuring social and emotional development resulting from musical engagement proves to be challenging for several reasons. Music researchers conceptualize and measure socio-emotional development in many different ways. Much of the work is correlational rather than causational, and music affords access to a non-verbal means of expression which may be challenging to measure with words alone. We are approaching these challenges with impressive qualitative work by Lotte Cariletto and Henrique Peltola, by conducting a scoping review with colleagues Alicia Lucendo Noriega and Friederike Kohler to assess existing conceptualizations and measures of youth social and emotional development in music research, and by designing a psychometric scale to measure how musical engagement affords social and emotional development, and hopefully also related concepts of connectedness and empowerment. So far, we have pre-registered and initiated the scoping review by searching 5 different databases for research examining outcomes of social and emotional development of young people in musical contexts. These searches returned 1,400 unique results. Abstract screening is ongoing. From the double-screened abstracts, we can estimate that inter-rater reliability is currently about 74%, and the current estimate of article exclusion is only 27%. At this rate, there could have been as many as 1,000 studies retained, but to maintain feasibility, we will narrow our inclusion criteria further to focus on research from the last 10 years. Time will tell how ambitious our scoping review will remain. Having conducted the first screening of the 1,400 retrieved article abstracts, my initial impression is that while some research shows the expected positive effects of musical engagement, I'm surprised by the amount of research showing that music can have a negative relation with development. For example, many articles suggest that music promoting violence, sexualization, or substance abuse leads to antisocial, unhealthy, or risky behaviors and emotions in young people. This may suggest that we are replicating previous research showing that musical engagement can be healthy or unhealthy depending on the way that it is used. Results from the qualitative analysis and the scoping review will be integrated to inform development of a psychometrically validated scale, the Music Connect scale. We will employ best practices in scale development outlined by Boteng et al. The qualitative work and conceptualization and measure mapping from the scoping review are vital components of the first stage involving identification of the domain and item generation. Items will be pre-tested in groups of young people to ensure their comprehension and content validity. We will develop 2 different versions that measure state and trait-based outcomes of social and emotional development that can be applied across various forms of musical engagement, including music listening and music making. Ultimately, our aim is to provide a tool to measure how different forms of musical engagement affect connectedness among and within young people through social and emotional development. We hope that the Music Connect scale can be used by researchers and practitioners alike to examine how music can support social and emotional development of young people. Thank you, and if you want to get in touch, please send me an email.